Hey, welcome back to EdTech. Today I'll be teaching you part of my series for building a personal portfolio web page for the FreeCodeCamp responsive web design project. So this is part one of the project in which I'll start off showing you how to build the navbar. I'll start with the HTML, and then if time permits I'll do the CSS. Otherwise, if it gets too long, I'll do the CSS in part two. So let's see how it goes. This is the page. This is the welcome section here. You have a contact section, you have a work section, and your about section. Yeah. So let me click here. Okay. So you can see what happens when you hover here. And I've already passed my test personal portfolio. There you go. 12 out of 12. Okay. So let's get started. If I press here, this is the contact section, as you can see. Let's get social. If I press here, this is all my work section. Yeah. Then I have this, the welcome section. So welcome section. So I have the welcome section, I have the work section, I have the contact section. So let's see how it is done. Let's go here to my tutorial page. Okay, now I have the script for the FreeCodeCamp test projects so that I can see the test here. Yeah, right now I have not yet passed because we are just starting from scratch. Okay, but in my previously done one, we've already passed the test. So let's get started with the nav bar. Okay, so first thing first, we need to I'll also teach you along the way. After doing the structure, I'll show you how to choose the font. I'll show you how to choose the font, but before that, let me do the section, the navbar section first. Okay, so div ID, you need a container, right? Div ID is a container. Then you need to have a class. Also, I call it container. So it has a ID of container because you need an entire container to hold all the sections. So that's why we are building this. Yeah. And don't forget to close it off all the time. Okay, let's give me a space here. Okay. Now let's do the navbar. So the navbar is going to be in the header. So I need a header here. Yes, so header, open and close. Now I want to construct the navbar inside my header. So according to the given condition in the task, the navbar has to have an ID of navbar. You can check it out. So nav ID equals navbar. This is the given condition. So you can check that out later. I don't want to waste time looking into that now. You can look at the test conditions, etc. So nav, close it. This is the easiest way you can start off. Yeah, always do like this. Then inside the navbar, of course, you need the UL and the list, the unordered list, because when you're doing the different sections, it has to be unordered, right? It gets ugly when it's ordered. So I do my unordered list, which is UL, close off the UL. Okay, now inside the UL, what I want to have, there's a condition mentioned in the test that it has to have a class. The unordered list has to have a class of navbar list. It's mentioned there in your test. So I'm just following the test questions. So that's done, right? Navbar list. Okay, then now you need to come inside this and create the list, which we already done in CSS. So let's create the list and the links. This is the list. For list you need this, right? So different list, you need to have different list, Li elements rather, and the A elements for the different sections. So open and close. Now inside the list, what do you make? The A tags, right? So A tag is, you need to write exactly like this, href equals whatever section you have. Like first is my welcome section, right, as per the given condition. So this is a welcome condition, welcome section, and you want to make a hash and then welcome. Just follow along exactly the same. This is the tag to follow. So this is the welcome section, the hash sign, and then because this is usually done like this when you want to have a clickable section, and then the welcome section. By mistake I lost my close. Yeah, so this is done, and then I need to close this A tag. Don't forget to close. Yes. Now in between, so in between you need to write what exactly this is, right? So what is this actually? This is the about section or the welcome section. So I call it about. This is my about section. Now you can also expand it here. It will be easier this way. And then you can like do the whole thing. Sometimes we do like this. This is easier. Trying to do it here. Don't know this will come or not. Yeah, this is easier. So just do it this way. So put it all in one line, easier for you. And then what you can do is you can just copy paste 3 of them, and then I don't advise you to do that while coding, but I'm just doing it to finish the recording faster. Oh, sorry. I need to jump here, Control V. One more, Control V. Now I'll just change it. It's easier for me. Okay, first was the welcome section. Another one is the projects. So I just write projects because the welcome section is the given condition, whatever is the link. So you can read that out. Whatever is the given terms, I've used that. So for the next link, it is, they call it projects. So this is the projects section. So I'm just using the same terminology. And then instead of about, this will be work. You can call it work or projects, whatever you like. Here, this is what will appear in your UL, or in other words, this is what will appear on your screen when people see your website. So this is about work. This is what they see. So you can call it work, you can call it projects, up to you. But inside this IDs and classes is as per the given terminology, right? So this, and then the last one is the contact section. This is also given here in the test. You can check it out. So this is contact, 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 sorry. And then this will be, of course, easier to call it contact, right? I find it easier. Done. So you have 3 sections: about, work, contact, with the IDs of the links as provided in the given test. UL ID also given in the test. So I'm just following the instructions. Yeah. So let me save it. So my nav bar is already ready. Am I missing something? No, it's all there. But I need to get rid of this bullets and the lines and all that. So I need to do my CSS quickly. I think I may have time for my CSS. I'll just try to do it as fast as possible. Okay. Okay. So first thing first, I do this wildcard. Now this is called box sizing border box. Why do I do this? Now remember, this is like a wild card. When you put this asterisk and the curly brackets and write this, so this works like a wild card, means all the elements like margin, padding, etc., which would have been there otherwise in the browser for all browsers, this will be set to 0. So it will not interfere with your design. That's the idea of putting this wildcard. Remember that. Okay. Then you have your HTML body. So I just give nothing much. Font family. I give like, in this case, what have I given? Wait, I'm not giving it now. I want to show you how it is done first. Okay, let me change the view here and then I will explain from there. Okay, this is my link for the font family. So I just copy from here and I show you the method. Save it here. I also go to my settings, into my HTML settings, and then under the stuff for head, save it there, save. Okay, now the thing is, our font family is already chosen, so you can write the same thing, font family, just copy, Bebas plus, or I just write Bebas here. Okay, you can write other stuff, open sans serif. I'm not doing that now, but that is going deeper into it. You can do that decoration later. This is just to tell you the basics. And how do I reach this is from here. Let's say I go here. Okay, I go to https://fonts.google.com. Come here. Let's say here. Then I just select here. Then it says select this style, for example. Select the style. Just giving an example, you can choose anything. You have this link here, as you can see. You have this link here, link href https font whatever blah 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 blah. For example, here you can just go here. Okay, you can go here, copy this, and then put it in the CSS head and also in the HTML head and also in the CSS font family, as we have seen here. So that's how it can be done. So that's why I'm not doing much here. This is just to show you. You can have your own. Okay, then margin 0, padding 0 to reset all the original padding margin of other browsers. So I've done the wildcard. I've done this resetting. Okay. Now what do I do? Nothing much. I just do my container, because we have a container in which this is all done, right? Class of container, div id container, class container. So I do my container class dot, okay, and then you need to do the minimum height 100 VH. Why like this? Because if the content is smaller than the minimum height, then the minimum height will be applied. So this is the reason, because by doing this will help prevent the value of the height property from being smaller than the minimum height. It doesn't shrink. Things won't go wrong. The height will not go lesser than the minimum height. That's the reason I'm writing minimum height as 100 VH. Hope you understood. Okay, now padding. 50 pixels. Okay, this is for the padding of the nav bar. You wouldn't understand now, but sometimes this is not required. It depends on the design. So do not lay too much emphasis on that. That will happen after you check on the design. Okay, display. This is major. Now I have, for this particular design, I've decided to stick to the traditional display block. Now what happens? So for display block is a traditional one, right? So in future, when I'll be doing more tutorials, I will be teaching you to do display in Flexbox, grid, etc. So for now, let us stick to this because I've already done this design in this, right? Okay, position. But this will help to center it. Position. So what is the position? Position is relative. Okay, so this, what does it happen when the position, when the element is positioned, like here the container. So when the position is relative, when you set a position as relative, this will be like as per whatever elements you're adding, it will be as per the normal flow of the documents. Things won't go here and there. It will be flowing together. So that's the idea. Yeah. And then you have overflow, overflow hidden. So I'm just explaining the different terms. You're supposed to know this, why you're doing it. So what is the meaning of overflow hidden is like, like when the content is too much, let's say it overflows. So the content, when it overflows the elements box, yeah, like for example, you have a nav bar and things are going, or you have anything which is a major container. So if within the container, the elements or the content will be stored within the container. The element will be stored or the content will be stored within the container. It will not flow outside. Yeah, it will be clipped, and then when you click on it, you can read the whole content, as you've seen when you read websites. Otherwise, it will look ugly, right? Things flowing out of a content, out of a container. So that's the reason you call it overflow hidden, to make it nice and beautiful and adjust inside the container. Okay. Then, so this, until now it's clear. Save. Okay, then you have given nav ID as navbar, right? So you need to do the styling for that. This is quite simple. Position is fixed. Why do you give it a fixed position? You don't want your navbar to move here and there when the other elements are flowing, right? When the page is moving. That's why I give it like fixed. Width, I give it like 100% because I want to make it like go horizontally from left to right, cover the whole page of my web page. Okay, top margin for short top is 0. I am not giving a margin. That is again completely up to you how you decide the style. So do not lay too much stress on this. Right, this is again very personalized, 25 pixels or whatever you want to give the right margin, like if you have a nav bar, how much margin you want to give on the right, on the top, on the bottom, it's up to you. Okay, then I want to give like font weight, bold. That's again up to you whether you want to bolden it or not. Up to you. Then you have, I give a display to the navbar as flex to make it easy. Flex is one of the easiest one to manage the flow. Then justify content, flex end. Okay, now it could be flex start or flex end, that is up to you, but when you say flex end, it will go here. When you say flex start, it will go here. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, so for the time being, I'm doing it end, but that's again personalized, right? Okay, because I want to fix it to this side. If you want to fix the whole thing here, you can do flex start. If you want to fix it to the right side, call it flex end, right? Just remember that. Okay. Then I want to make the list because the Lee elements you have to adjust for the navbar, right? So what do? We've done the CSS earlier. So we have a class of navbar list. If you remember here, UL class is navbar list. So navbar list dot navbar list. I want to do the CSS for that. So I do the display sorry, as flex end again because this is what I've chosen for this particular site. Okay, done. Then I want to go here and I want to do the A link, the A tag, navbar list. Inside that you have the A tag, remember? So I do that. Display. I do my display for this as block, the traditional way. Yeah, just let's keep it strictly simple here. Font size, just choose from here. Again, personal, you can make it whatever you like, but don't make it too bold and garish. So until here is okay. You can see it growing here on the left side. Okay, now we want to get rid of all those marks, lines, bullets. Right. So we are almost near finishing line. Okay, now I want to do a bit of hover. Dot navbar list A hover. Oh, sorry, hover. Some kind of animation. What happens when you hover over it, which I showed you in the beginning. Background color. I just want to change the background color when you hover. Dark blue. So this you can only see once it is built. So let me save it for now. I'll show you when it's done. So I want to do the UL section now. UL. Okay, list style. It should be none, right? Why? Because it will remove all the bullets and the markers. That's the idea. So list style, I forgot to do typo. List style type. There you go. All the bullets are gone. Now you can see the hover also, dark blue, dark blue, dark blue. Okay. Now I need to do the margins and the paddings. I don't want any margin, up to you. I don't want any padding, up to you again. Then I do my overflow hidden, same reason. Prevent the, why do I do it here? In this case, I'm doing the overflow hidden because I want to prevent my navbar from collapsing. Whenever there is a movement, I don't want my navbar to collapse. That's why I'm doing overflow hidden. Okay. Then position fixed. Why? Because again for the same reason, I don't want it to move when the other elements are moving. Top 0. Okay, then background color. You can write background color or background. So I want it to be black. I want a bit of opacity, but that's again up to you. No need for that. Now this will make it a bit more transparent. Yeah, so that's the reason. The more you make it, the more it becomes transparent. So that's completely up to you. So if you make it 8, it becomes like this. So you can keep playing with it and experimenting with it. But no need to do that if you just want a black background. Yeah. So opacity is to do with transparency, increase or decrease. So width 100%. As mentioned earlier, I want it to run through the whole width of the page. Yeah, so it's done. Okay, so now I just go and save this. Okay, now one more thing. Navbar Lee, I need to do a small adjustment here. And under the navbar Lee, the list, I want to make it float right. When I say this, what does it mean? When I say float right means move from left to right. Move from left to right. That is, it was actually in a vertical side. Now it will move horizontally from left to right. As you can see, contacts work about. It's left to right. Yeah. Instead of one over the other, stack over the other. Okay. Now just a last one more item to style. Okay. Navbar. Lee, and then go to the A tag. So this is how you do. First you go to navbar, go to the list, then the A tag in this order. If you want to style the A inside this Lee, inside the navbar, right? So text align, I want it to be centered. The text to be centered inside the navbar. Then the text decoration, the text decoration, because I want to get rid of the lines, is none. So get rid of all the lines and everything, the markers. Color white. Yes, now you can see it. Earlier it was not visible. So the color is a font color. Then the font style 3VH. Oh, sorry. Font style should be bold. I'm so sorry. Typo. Font style is bold. There you can see, nice and bold. Then your padding. The padding can be like 3VH, up to you again. It can be pixels or VH. Yeah, so that you get a nice rectangle. You get the space. That's the idea. 3 versus, so this space, this space, this space, and this space. Okay, so you can even increase it. As you see, if you make it 4, what happens? See, if you make this, the height increases, and if you make it even more, 8, see, the height increases. So the first one is for the height. So I made it like 3 thin. The first one is for the height. Padding 16 is for the distance in between. If you like make it like 26, as you can see, the distance increases too much. So I just stick to the 116. That is again your personal preference. So this is how you do that padding. Hope it's clear. Then I need a display for this as well. For the A tag, block. I go for the traditional one, block. So it's nice and centered and very easy to manage. Yeah, so I just go here. Okay, so this is all for the time being. You have completed, congratulations, you have completed your navbar. And if you let me save it first, and then if you change your view, you will find the full page view. This is your navbar. Contact, hover, nice hover here, hover here. It's not like, even if you click, you can't go to any, migrate to this section there because you haven't constructed it, but it's clickable, as you can see. Yeah, and then if you see the test result, check the test results under personal portfolio. If you run the tests, there you go. You've already passed, say, how many? Okay, 3 tests. That's great. So there are so many more sections. You have a work section, you have a footer, you have a welcome section. Once you do all that, you'll be passing already. So currently you've just done this. Yeah. So this is done. And we can go back here. Okay. Okay. So it's done for the first part. Yeah, I will see you in the second part in the next tutorial. Yes, until then you can practice what I've done, you can code along. Yeah, just wait for my second part where I'll be teaching you how to do the about section, the welcome section. Yeah, and then If you have not yet subscribed, if this brings some value to you, make sure that you subscribe so that you can stay in touch. As soon as something is published, you will get to know. For more such tutorials and more of tutorials in JavaScript, HTML and CSS, stay tuned, stay subscribed. Or if you've not subscribed, please remember to subscribe so that I can get more support in order to improve my quality, and also build more such projects and build more tutorials, do more tutorials for you guys, for beginners. Thank you so much. Bye. See you in the next tutorial, the next part. Okay. Thank you.